Hello everyone. Today we will study the new topic of human physiology, human endocrine system, that is under the chapter of chemical coordination and integration. So in this topic we will study the entire endocrine system of the human body. So what is the meaning of system? Here endocrine system, and how many parts of the body, how many structures of the body will be included under endocrine system. So endocrine system includes two parts. First is endocrine glands and second one is this is endocrine glands, and next is all the diffuse tissue of the body and cells that are responsible for the formation of hormones, means all the hormone producing diffuse tissue or cells of body, human body. Is it clear? It means not only the endocrine gland of the body is responsible for the formation and secretion of the hormones. Some of the other tissues of the human body that is also responsible for the synthesis and secretion of hormone. So endocrine glands includes under this endocrine gland, different endocrine glands of the body are included, but apart from these entire endocrine glands, some of the tissues or cells of the human body also responsible for the synthesis and secretion of hormone. First we should list the name of the endocrine glands of human body. The first one is hypothalamus. This is hypothalamus, and next one is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is master gland of the body, also known as master of the endocrinic orchestra and hypophysis also. Next is pineal gland. Next is thyroid gland. Then parathyroid gland located on dorsal side of the thyroid gland. Next is pancreas. Pancreas also acts like a endocrine gland. It is both exocrine and endocrine, means it is heterocrine or mixocrine type of gland. Next is suprarenal gland or adrenal gland. Suprarenal gland or adrenal gland. Suprarenal means renal means kidney. This gland is located over the surface of the kidney. It will attach through the adipose tissue on the surface of the kidney, on both kidney. That's why it is known as suprarenal gland. And next is gonads. Both gonads is responsible for the formation of gametes, and apart from the formation of the gametes, this also acts as a endocrine gland, means it will produce its primary function is to produce gametes, and as well as it also produces the hormones responsible for the secondary sex character of the body. So both gonads means testis in male and ovaries in female. Okay, now listen, what are the diffuse tissue of body or diffuse cells of the body that are responsible for the synthesis and secretion of the hormones? So these are the diffuse tissue. Apart from these endocrine glands, these are the diffuse tissue located in different internal organs of the body, like this liver, heart, kidneys itself, and gastrointestinal tract, GIT, gastrointestinal tract means GIT, means alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is also responsible for the synthesis and secretion of some specialized hormone. So this part is also responsible for the synthesis and secretion of hormone. Let's see the other parts. Let's see their locations in the body. Location of these glands in human body and these tissues in human body. Look in the picture. These are the endocrine glands of the human body, and apart from the endocrine glands, some of the diffuse tissue present in internal organs or diffuse cells present in internal organ of human body are here represented in this figure. This is first one. This is pineal gland, and pineal gland located on the surface of epithalamus, that is the part of the forebrain, diencephalon part of the forebrain. This is pineal gland. And second one, this one is hypothalamus, and hypothalamus is very important part of the forebrain. It is the part of the basal part of diencephalon of forebrain. So this is hypothalamus. And this is next one, this pituitary gland hanging downward from the base of the hypothalamus through infundibulum. That is the tract, that is the structure that will hold the pituitary gland. So this is pituitary gland or hypophyseal gland. Next, come here, look at this figure here. This is the thyroid gland, means it is a butterfly like shape, like a structure present in the thoracic region, means here in thorax, in the tracheal region, located in front of the neck. And this is thyroid gland, and on the dorsal surface of the thyroid gland there are 4 oval structures, and these 4 oval structures are parathyroid gland. These are parathyroid gland. Now this is the alimentary canal, and one heterocrine type of gland or mixocrine type of gland located or attached to the alimentary canal, and this gland is pancreas. This is pancreas, and pancreas acts as both exocrine and endocrine gland. It will act endocrine as well as exocrine gland. Now this is the kidney, and above the surface of the kidney there is one more endocrine gland present, and it is attached over the surface of the kidney through the adipose tissue, and this gland is known as adrenal gland. Adrenal gland means attached to the renal. Renal means kidney. It will attach to the surface of the kidney. That's why it is known as adrenal gland. Next, here this is testis. This is testis, and this is ovaries. Ovaries in female. If this organ, this individual is considered to be the female, human female, then this structure will be the female reproductive tract. So this is the primary sex organ of the human female, and that primary sex organ is ovaries, and ovaries is responsible for the formation of gamete, that is egg, as well as also responsible for the synthesis and secretion of the hormone. Gonadial hormone means ovarian hormone. And this structure, if this individual is considered to be the male, then this gland will be testis. This gonads must be testis. So this is testis, and testis is primary sex organ that produces sperm as well as it also acts as endocrine gland, means it will help in synthesis and secretion of the sex hormone, that is androgens. Okay, now apart from these endocrine glands of the human body, some of the diffuse tissue present in human body that will also acts as endocrine, that will cells, or that is responsible for the synthesis and secretion of hormone. Just like this is first hormone, the first organ, this is liver, and liver, some of the tissues of the liver, some of the cells of the liver helps in synthesis and secretion of hormone, just like somatomedins, and somatomedins also known as insulin like growth factor. Okay, and angiotensinogen also synthesized in liver, that is a very important type of hormone synthesized and released from the cells of the liver. And this is heart, the cardiac muscle cell or cardiac muscle tissues. When this tissue is activated or gets activated, it will also start releasing one kind of hormone or a special kind of hormone from the arterial wall of the heart. Now the kidney itself, this kidney itself also forms some hormones, this kidney, and kidney itself forms some hormones just like calcitriol and erythropoietin. Apart from this, the GIT, gastrointestinal tract, the tissues of the gastrointestinal tract form several hormones. The tissues present here in GIT, gastrointestinal tract, means from stomach to small intestine and large intestine, some of the tissues present here in this GIT tract releases various types of hormones. Later we will discuss in detail about the hormones released from these diffused organs or tissues are present in these organs. So let's see the details of each gland of human body, each endocrine gland of human body, how they work, how they synthesizes the hormones, and what will be the chemical nature of the hormone synthesized in that endocrine gland of the human body, and what are the mode of action of these hormones in different on different endocrine glands of the body or itself on its own cells of the body. This is structure of the central nervous system or central neural system. This is the part of the forebrain, and the smallest part of the forebrain is diencephalon. There are three regions, three parts of diencephalon. The uppermost part, this part is known as epithalamus, and epithalamus is made up of neurons. So this is known as nervous part. This is nervous part. Second one, this middle region, and middle region is this middle part of this diencephalon, that is known as thalamus, and thalamus is non-nervous part, means it is not made up of neurons. This is non-nervous part, and the lowermost part, this is lowermost part, and this lowermost part is hypothalamus. This is hypothalamus, and hypothalamus made up of several endocrine cells, means group of endocrine cells. This hypothalamus made up of several hypothalamic endocrine cells, made up of several endocrine cells called hypothalamic nuclei. This is hypothalamic nuclei, means many hypothalamic nuclei will be present here in hypothalamus. Just like we can take some examples of hypothalamic nuclei, and they are responsible for they forms different kinds of hormones. This hypothalamic nuclei, just for example, what are the hypothalamic nuclei present in this endocrine part of the hypothalamus? These are supraoptic nuclei. This is supraoptic nuclei. Second one is proventricular nuclei. Third one is anterior nuclei. Fourth one is posterior nuclei. Many more, like this, many more. This anterior needs, this supraventricular nuclei means the endocrine, neuroendocrine cells. It is not only endocrine cells, it is neuroendocrine cells. We can write here neuroendocrine cells. Neuroendocrine cells called hypothalamic nuclei. Just for example, this is supraoptic nuclei, and this supraoptic nuclei forms or produces oxytocin. This produces oxytocin, whereas proventricular nuclei, this produces vasopressin. This produces vasopressin. Like that, many other nuclei, hypothalamic nuclei are responsible for the formation of other type of chemical that also coordinate other physiological activity of body. But these two are very important type of nuclei that forms a special kind of hormone. Just for example, supraoptic nuclei. This is supraoptic nuclei, and this endocrine cell, these endocrine cells forms oxytocin, the very important type of hormone in both male and female, but its major role seen in the female body. Next one is proventricular nuclei. This nuclei is responsible for the synthesis and secretion of ADH, antidiuretic hormone, and that ADH is also known as vasopressin. Now come to the other role of this hypothalamus. Apart from this, this also controls the hormones released from this hypothalamic nuclei that also secretes releasing or regulating hormone. Several groups of the hypothalamic nuclei produces hormones. Hypothalamic nuclei produce hormones, and these hormones regulates the activity of these hormones regulates the synthesis and secretion of pituitary hormones. Some of the hormones released from here, hypothalamus, are releasing, and some of the hormones inhibiting. Means these hormones, the nature of these hormones, these hypothalamic hormones are a releasing hormone, and some are inhibiting hormone. A releasing hormone like TRH, CRH, GnRH, PRH, GHRH. Inhibiting hormone like somatostatin, is also known as GHIH and PIH, that will act against this PRH, prolactin releasing hormone. These two are, and one more hormone against the one inhibiting hormone is MIH, melanocyte inhibiting hormone. These are the regulating hormone of hypothalamus. Here we can write a regulating hormone of hypothalamus, a regulating hormone, hypothalamic hormone. These are a regulating hypothalamic hormone. Let's see how these releasing hormone and inhibiting hormone acts on the pituitary gland, on the endocrine cells of the pituitary gland. Let's see here. This is structure of hypothalamus, and there are various group of cells and neuroendocrine cells present in this hypothalamus, and these cells, this is hypothalamus, and various group of neuroendocrine cells present here, and these neuroendocrine cells will form the like this. This is neuroendocrine cells, one in neuroendocrine cells, and this is another neuroendocrine cells. We can write here second neuroendocrine cells like this. This is another neuroendocrine cells that will also come here in this region, and these will form a structure. These are the structures of the neuroendocrine cells. Means this part of this is pituitary gland, and it will hang with the infundibular, a tube like a structure made up of neurons, and this is also known as pituitary stalk through which the pituitary gland will hang. So these neurons will extend to form the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. That's why this is known as a neurohypophysis. This is posterior lobe, and posterior lobe is made up of neurons, cells of nervous tissue. That's why it is also known as neurohypophysis. This is also known as neurohypophysis, and there is a structure of the neurohypophysis. These structures are known as a Herring's body. These two are neuroendocrine group of neuroendocrine cells. This is supraoptic nuclei that will form oxytocin. This is the proventricular nuclei, and this proventricular nuclei forms ADH, and these two hormones synthesized here in hypothalamus but will be stored in this Herring's body. This entire structure is the extension of hypothalamus, and that extension forms the infundibulum or pituitary stalk. Now, what is the nature of this anterior pituitary? This is made up of, this is known as adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis. Adeno means gland. This is gland. Means this anterior lobe made up of glandular tissue, and that glandular tissue present in the pharyngeal region. So this is the extension, this is the outbulge of the oral cavity or pharynx that will form the pouch like structure in the hypothalamus region or in the CNS. That pouch is known as Rathke's pouch. It means it is not made up of nervous tissue. It is made up of glandular epithelial tissue. So these are the cells present here in this region. Suppose this is the cell, these are the endocrine cells. These are the endocrine cells because it is made up of glandular epithelium. These are the cells are glandular cells. So these are present in anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. That's why it forms hormones, and that's why we can say these are endocrine cells. What will be the fate of these endocrine cells? How these endocrines will be regulated, and how these cells forms different types of hormones of the anterior pituitary lobe. Now see here. This region, this adenohypophysis regulated by the hormone synthesized here in the hypothalamus, and that hormone will be brought here in this region through blood circulation. So this region is rich in blood capillaries, and that blood capillary is the connection between two capillaries, complex capillary system. So this is known as this entire capillary system is known as hypophyseal portal system. This is hypophyseal portal system. Hypophyseal portal system. And this hypophyseal portal system will bring the hormone synthesized here, and that regulates the activity of these endocrine cells of the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. There are receptors present over the cells of these, like this. This is one of the endocrine cells of the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland that will receive the hormone released from the hypothalamus. There is another receptor present here on the surface of these cells. So this is another kind of receptor. This is third kind of receptor present on these endocrine cells of that will receive another hormones. This is fourth different other kind of receptor present on this endocrine cells of this anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Suppose the releasing hormone that regulates the activity of the endocrine cells, like first one is the hormone coming here, and that hormone is synthesized here, and it will be transported by this blood circulation, just like this is TRH, means first hormone. This will regulate, this is TRH, thyroid regulating hormone, and that will come here and it will be received by the receptor present on this particular cells, particular endocrine cells of the anterior lobe of pituitary. This is TRH, and TRH will bind on this receptor site of the particular cell. Now as this cell will be gets activated, it will form, it will synthesize, it will produce one more hormone, and that hormone is known as TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. It will be transported through the blood circulation and will activate the gland, this thyroid gland, and it says the thyroid gland to release, this is thyroid gland, and it will stimulate the thyroid gland and regulate to release the hormone, and that will be thyroxine. Thyroxine means its receptor present on the surface of the cells of the thyroid gland here, like this. It will bind here and will activate the thyroid gland to release thyroxine. Second one, second hormone, just like it will be brought here, and that hormone will be CRH. This is another hormone, and this hormone is CRH. Suppose this is CRH. This hormone is CRH, means corticotropic releasing hormone. So it will bind here over the surface of this particular cell, and this gets activated. This cell will release ACTH, and this ACTH will be brought through the blood circulation over the surface of this gland. This gland is adrenal gland, and the cortical part of the adrenal gland will get activated. Why this will get activated? Because the receptors present on the cells of this particular gland here, like this, the receptor for this ACTH, adrenocorticotropic, this is cortex, adrenal cortex. So it will activate the adrenal cortex, it will activate the cells of the adrenal cortex here, like this, the receptor present on the adrenal cortex. So it will bind here, and now the adrenal cortex, this adrenal cortex will release cortex. It will form corticoids, means mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, and sex corticoids. Like this, another hormone, this will come here, and this hormone is GnRH. This will bind over the surface of here, and it will go to testis and ovary and ovaries, and activate it to release androgen and estrogen, like this. Rest of the hormone we will discuss later in later videos. How this will the rest of the inhibiting hormone we will discuss in next videos. So in nutshell, we can understand the role of the hypothalamic hormone in the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. The releasing hormone secreted from the hypothalamus, hypothalamic nuclei, just like this supraoptic nuclei and paraventricular nuclei. It's not proventricular, it is paraventricular nuclei that regulates the activity of the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland, and these hormones released from the supraoptic nuclei and paraventricular nuclei, they are stored in the Herring's body of posterior lobe of pituitary gland. This secretes oxytocin, and this paraventricular nuclei secretes vasopressin or ADH. We can also say it ADH. So we have already studied the entire activity of the hypothalamus and hypothalamic nuclei, and how the releasing hormone regulates the activity of the endocrine cell of anterior pituitary, and how that cell synthesizes and release the different types of hormone that activates other glands of the body, just like thyroid gland to release thyroxine, adrenal gland from ACTH will activate the adrenal cortex part of the adrenal gland and releases a hormone. That hormone called corticoids, means adrenal cortex hormones are corticoids, just like mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids and sex corticoids. GnRH of the hypothalamus activates the endocrine cells of anterior pituitary to release TSH and FSH, LH and FSH. LH will act on both testis and ovary to synthesize and secrete the hormone, and that hormone is not estrogen and progesterone. This hormone will be here, that inhibin and FSH also, this LH, FSH also will act on testis and ovaries to release the hormone inhibin and estrogen and inhibin. It will act on testis and ovary, both will act on testis and ovaries, okay, and releases inhibin and estrogen. Both will act on testis, and it will release these two, means FSH and LH will act on testis to release inhibin hormone, and inhibin and androgen.